Hello everyone, it is Leah here, and first things first, oh my gosh, my hair is different. Yes, I finally took my braids out, or my faux locks out, but hopefully you love my natural hair just as much as you liked my faux locks. So in any case, I'm doing the reading a little bit differently today. This is going to be a read for the rest of the week. And some people were asking about doing reads for all of the signs. So what I'm going to do in this video, I'm going to test it out, see how it goes, is to do one video and timestamp it so that I'm going to do all of the elements. So I'll do the air signs, I'll do water, fire, and earth, and I'll timestamp it so that you all will be able to know where you can check in for your particular elements. So hopefully that will be cool for you all. And then at the end, I'll do like a big, a general card pull from these other two decks that I really like. So in any case, I hope that it's good for you. I'm going to go ahead and pull for the first sign, or the first element, which is air signs. Okay, so we're going to do our 3-card spread on what you can focus on for your business and the next for the rest of the week. And let's see, and I'm using a different deck. I'm using the Enchanted Tarot deck, and I really like this deck. It's lots of symbolism. So what is this all about? So the most important thing to know, how can you help yourself? And what do you need to make sure to stop doing so that you don't impede your progress? So interesting thing, Queen of Wands showed up in the reverse position. So when cards show up in the reverse position, generally for me that means that the energy is lessened for some reason, like there's like fear around it. So what this seems to have to do with, is your ability to know exactly what you want. So this particular card in the reverse is saying that this particular week, it's going to be really important for you to like zone in on what it is that you actually want, because you are probably a little bit scattered right now. Like if you really checked in with yourself, you couldn't solidly say, this is what I want. This is what I want to happen. And so this card is asking you to do that assessment. And the Princess of Hearts, I really love this card. So you see this card, the Princess of Hearts. What this is saying is that what can actually help you, if you look really closely, this woman is taking stock of whatever she's reading on this paper. This is telling you that to kind of get yourself past this point of not knowing what it is that you, for sure what you want, go back over your, I'm seeing like records, go back over your records, go back over your notes, go back over the plans that you had, like your business plan, go back over those things that you created in the beginning so that you can reattach yourself or reconnect with your initial purpose for starting this, for doing whatever this endeavor is with your business, whatever this is that you'll figure out what it is for yourself. So this is saying it's really, really important to do that. And this is the Princess of Hearts. So this is the emotional deck. So this is the deck of water, of your emotions. So again, this is really talking about like that emotional connection. Like when you wrote your business plan, what was like your big why? Like what is it? What's the core of what you're trying to do? So that's super important. What you need to stop doing is, so this is the Chariot in reverse. The Chariot is a major arcana card. So it in the reverse is saying that you need to stop second guessing yourself, and you need to stop stopping and starting, like sputtering forward, but then like kind of like second guessing yourself and pulling back, and then sputtering forward a little bit and then pulling back. Like it's a lot of indecision here, a lot of like lack of clarity of like what exactly you want. So you kind of start on this, you pull back, you start on that, you pull back, you start on this. And so you have all these false starts. And it's not that any one of these things can't bring you or be very successful. What it is that you haven't decided exactly what you want. So you have all of this like energy, because the Chariot in the upright position is like steam ahead. Like, you know, I know what I'm doing. I have the energy to do it. I'm about to rock it out. This is my, you know, my destiny manifest. I'm making this happen, right? And so in the upright position, you would have all the energy, and down here, what it is you're sputtering it around all over the place, and so you're kind of like wasting the energy that you have. So hopefully that is helpful for you air signs. I am an air sign. So now I'm going to move on to the water signs. Woohoo! Okay, so for water, same exact 3 cards. Let's see what's going on with you, water folks, my emotional folks. Okay, so break the deck. Okay, so what is this particularly about? Like, what is the heart of this matter? This is let you know what it is, how you're helping yourself, and what you need to kind of let go of or pay attention to that's like kind of hindering your progress. So the 4 of Hearts comes up here. So the 4 of Hearts, this is in the suite of emotions again, so it makes it kind of really fits for the water signs. So this card is actually saying that your focus right now is on things that are not working when there is actually the opportunity to focus on something that is working. Like you feel like you've lost, you know, and so you feel like you kind of want to like hit, like you don't want to really move forward. But this card is saying like, actually there's some things that you can move forward on if you shift your focus. So if you look at this person, you know, they're kind of like in this kneeling position, and these hearts are kind of flowing up and out. So they've taken a break to kind of allow themselves to dream again. So that's what this card is saying. Like, you know, yeah, you know, some stuff might have, you know, you might have had some things that like felt like they didn't quite get where you want it. But this card is saying like, you can still dream again. There's still some other stuff. Okay. So hopefully that is helpful. Now what you can do to go ahead and help yourself, the 8 of Wands is a card of movement. It's a card of like taking fast action, of like going forward with like, you know, energy, like things happening quickly, messages, you getting messages quickly. Like this is the suite of Wands, the suite of like your passions and drive, right? The interesting thing about this particular card is that she looks like she doesn't actually want the stuff to go that fast. Like she's a little bit afraid of the speed that these wands are taking off with, right? So and I'm going to say they're taking off. I'm going to say these flowers are taking off into the atmosphere instead of coming down on her. I think because it's this energy of like takeoff, right? So she's a little bit fearful of it. So this card is saying like, yes, it's good to be cautious. Yes, it's good to be, I mean, it's good to be cautious. It's good to like, you know, make sure that you're like not getting too like, yay, and just getting caught up in the energy. However, let it happen. However, go ahead and like let these things like take off. Let them take off because the energy is there for them to take off. Okay, so that's a good thing. All right, so so the 6 of Swords shows up. The 6 of Swords in this position, which is kind of what you need to like let go of. Generally, the 6 of Swords is a kind of a card of it is a card of healing. It's a card of like, okay, you know what, I'm just gonna let that stuff go. I'm just not gonna like really focus on it anymore. But it's also a little bit a card of like the martyr, the you know, like, oh, it's been so hard for me. Oh, you know, I just have to step away from this stuff. So it's a little bit dramatic in the position that it's in right now. So this card is telling you that like staying in that like, and I hesitate to call it victim mode. I hesitate to call it that, but staying in that mode of non-movement. And I know this is a card of movement, but it's not a card of like happy movement in my how I interpret it. It's a card of like, oh, this is the last thing that's left to do, and I just have to move away from these things to just give myself peace of mind. So you know, it has a little bit of drama to it depending on where it falls in the reading. And so this is saying kind of like it's time to like move past that. You know, coupled with the 4 of Hearts and how the 4 of Hearts showed up for me, in the sense that like, yeah, you know, like there's some things that you can focus on positively. This is really saying like, you know, you got some stuff that can really take off. You just got to kind of get past the old stuff. So hope that's helpful for you water signs. All right, next is going to be for my fire signs. Yay, let's do fire. Okay, so same reading. And let's see what is going on for fire. Okay, the crux of the issue. Interesting. What's helping and what's hindering. All right. I did not know this deck has so many reversals, but I haven't read with this deck in a while, so I didn't know that there were so many cards that were in the reverse. But in any case, it's speaking messages to us, so we need this. So the first card that shows up is the Ace of Swords in reverse. So what this is telling me is that the crux of this, how you're going to know if this is a reading for you or what this reading is about, is this is an issue where you actually feel like you don't know the truth of it. Like you're not exactly sure. You thought you were sure, but you're not sure anymore of the truth of it. So that is causing you to like feel a lot of doubt. And because usually the Ace of Swords is like, boom, I know the truth and I'm moving with that truth. Like it's a new day of like of opportunity. It's a lot of clarity. And this card is telling me that like you're lacking clarity right now. However, what it looks like is really helping you is that it doesn't seem like you are really worrying about it. You know, this is a card of abundance and growth. So it's not like this lack of clarity is keeping you from growing. It's so you actually have like the environment around you for a lot of positivity, a lot of growth. This is a major arcana card. It's the 3. So 3s are numbers of abundance. They're numbers of growing. They are at the beginning of the number line, but it's a card of growth. So you're not letting the fact that you have a doubt about this really keep you from moving forward in it. So that's a really good thing. However, the negative thing is, it's really interesting because it almost shows up as like the exact opposite of how the Empress shows up, because it's the 5 of Pentacles in reverse. The 5 of Pentacles is generally a card of loss, or not even loss. It's a card of poverty, like a poverty mindset, like a you know, just a belief that you just can't get it on your own and you have to get it from someplace else and you're at the mercy of someplace else. And so in this card, if you see this young lady is trying to get this guy's attention and he's almost like pushing her off. That's what it looks like to me. Like he's like, no. And she's like, oh, but it has to be you. It's only you. You are like my life. And she's like, and he's like, whatever. No, I'm not, you know, he's being very dismissive of her. Right. And so this card is actually in the reverse though. So what it's actually telling me is that in your blissfulness, there are some things that you might be missing because you're not really allowing yourself to look at where you are placing the power in someone else's hands. So this card is saying like, okay, so yes, you know, you're not worried about it. You don't know the truth anymore, but you're not really worried about it. You're going to like skip on down the road and be like, hey, everything's going to work out no matter what. It's saying that, you know what, but you still need to like pay attention to where the power is. You know, usually when this card is in the upright, it's like you clearly know, you can clearly see that like, you know, you're placing your power in somebody else's hands. But when it's in the reverse, it's like you're not even trying to see that. You're not even trying to pay attention to the fact that you're placing your power in someone else's hands. And the energy that I'm feeling is that eventually, if you keep skipping down the road, that this is going to kind of bite you in the butt. And it's going to be a situation where it's going to explode. It's going to be like a tower moment. So, you know, I talk about tower moments all the time because they're great moments in life, but you can actually avoid them if you kind of pay attention to your sign sometimes. So tower moments are when the universe just comes in and says, you know what, let me just knock all this stuff down, get it out your way. And then, you know, you can start again with something else. So the thing I actually wanted you to be working on. So it's just saying that there's some things to pay attention to. Okay. Those were my fire folk, I believe. And the last folk are going to be my earth folks. So let's take a look and see what is in the cards for the earth people. Okay, so same reading. Last set of folks. I hope that you will like this way of doing the readings. All right, so the crux. The Tower card. What's helping? What is hindering? Okay. All right. Okay. So Earth folk, it seemed like something dramatic has just kind of happened with your business. If it hasn't happened yet, like you feel the rumblings of it. The rumblings of like the foundation being really unstable and things about to fall apart or blow apart, right? So that seems to be like what's happening business-wise or, you know, entrepreneurial-wise for you. So like this is sometimes you just can't avoid it. You're at that point where it's like, okay, it's just going to happen. And I just got to try to figure out how to protect myself or how to move forward once everything falls apart. Like, I just have to figure out, like, the sooner I can get the message, then the faster I can be past this point. So this is super important just to pay attention to. And I think, like, what really is speaking to me in this card is that, like, this is a fire, right? So I feel like things are gonna, like, it's something that's gonna like blow up if not paid attention to. So that's like really important. Three of Pentacles is how you are helping yourself. Usually Three of Pentacles in the upright is making plans for the future. You know, like making alliances, setting yourself up with folks, you know, like really like, you know, planning. I always think of like an architecture or architect or, you know, somebody with a blueprint and they're about to take them steps forward. However, in the reverse, this is telling me that the intuition that you are receiving is making you pause, is making you kind of pull back on things, is making you kind of be like, oh, maybe I need to like reassess and like just kind of see what's going on with this before I like take more steps forward in this. And that's actually good. That's actually a really good thing because yeah, this thing is about to blow up if it hasn't blown up already, you know. Now the thing that you're doing that's hindering yourself is the Temperance card. The Temperance is 5. It's a card of, in this deck it's 5. It's a card of well, it's 14, but it breaks down into a 5, which to me 5 is always a number of struggle, a number of it's a growth number. You know, you're growing through the struggle, but it's just like conflict, right? So what this is telling me is that you actually are not employing a lot of patience. The Temperance card is all about patience. It's all about like, you know, being able to balance like your emotions with your thoughts and just really kind of staying even keeled. And this card is telling me that in a way you're okay, it's showing up like this. Like you're not like you're pretending to be very balanced and everything, but you're really not. Like you're really ticked off. So you actually really haven't actually gotten to that place where you are super balanced. So again, that's just going to cause more of this, like, you know, this stuff to kind of blow up because you're not really being honest about where you are in your feelings and emotions, your feelings and your thoughts about what's going on. Like there's what's kind of coming up for me is that there needs to be some truth spoken. Like there needs to be some words said about what's going on. And because you are pretending to be super balanced and super like, you know, you know, it's all good. Everything's cool. I'm balanced about this, but you really haven't gotten to that place yet. It's just causing more friction, right? It's causing more friction for you. So the advice here is to go ahead and speak your truth, right? Like tell the people, like, explain why you're pulling back, you know, just, you know, like, really speak your truth so that, you know, you can kind of come out of this as, you know, as unscathed as possible, right? Okay. So I hope that has been helpful for all of my elements, my elementals. I do want to pull 2 more cards. I'm going to pull a card from the Oracle deck. And I have to do this really quick because I have 3 more minutes to record. And it says the distraction of shiny things. So I'm actually just going to pull this one today. The distraction of shiny things. So what this is saying is that for everyone who gets to tune into this reading, there's a lot of other stuff that, you know, is kind of like flitting up our attention that we just need to like pull our attention back from and allow ourselves to like refocus on what it is that we're trying to create. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it there because it's like 20 minutes, but I am going to timestamp it. Thank you all so much. Thank you again for all of the positive responses, questions. Please put them in the comments, and I'll put more information for you in the description. Okay, bye-bye.